Welcome to the Smichas Chaver Shavuos Challenge. The point of this video is to walk you through all the material that was just sent to you in an email, so like that you can have the best learning possible this Shavuos. There are two main goals to the Shavuos Challenge. Goal number one is to make the learning as engaging and as fun as possible together with your family. Goal number two is that you and your family can leave Shavuos knowing and retaining some of the most basic halachos and hilchos basar b'chalav. These are questions that are super relevant, that arise almost on a daily basis. You're going to see the learning is going to be super amazing and exciting. So let's begin and let's walk you through all the material. In this package, you're going to see notes, you're going to see Mari Mekomos, you're going to see questions with answers, you're going to see comics, and you're going to see the text of the body of the Shulchan Aruch. Let's begin one at a time, and I'll break down everything for you. So the first thing that you'll see are the notes. Next to each note, you'll see a Roman numeral. The lowest number, the number 1, indicates that that paragraph is of easiest material. 2 makes it a little bit harder. 3 is a little bit harder. 4 is the highest level. So if you're learning with your family, if you don't have such a big, strong yeshiva background, you can start with paragraph number 1, with Roman numeral number 1, number 2, number 3, and based on, you can, give it a chance, challenge yourself, push yourself, try to see if you can do more. So the goal is to go over Yantiv, to learn all these, all the material as much as you can, and to learn it together with the Ma'ar Makomos. Let's jump in a little bit more details into the notes. So in the notes themselves, I actually printed them out. So you'll see there are the Roman numerals over here on the side that I indicated to you. 1, 2, 3, 4, right? That shows you the level of difficulty. And also in the Ma'ar Makomos themselves, in the notes themselves, you'll see that there are Mefarshim that are bolded and they have a number to it. Those numbers direct you to the Ma'ar Makomos. So if you see a number 2 in the notes, that means the actual source of that is brought in the Ma'ar Makomos, which look like this, and it's going to be source number 2. The same thing you'll have with the question and answers. In this packet, you're going to see question and answers that look as follows. They're questions, and then there are answers over here. The answers are going to also direct you either to the Ma'ar Makomos or to the Shulchan Aruch itself, which at the end of this packet, you'll see just the text of the Shulchan Aruch, but we highly, highly recommend that if you have your own Shulchan Aruch, you should learn from the Shulchan Aruch itself. So what do we do with all this stuff? So the goal is to make the learning exciting, to make it fun, and to make it as amazing as possible. So if you're learning with your husband and your wife, or if you're learning with your children, it doesn't make a difference who you're learning with. I would suggest starting off with a few questions. Don't read the answers, just read the questions, whether it's around the Shabbos table, whether it's after the meal. You have all the Shavuos to learn this material. Throw out a question, see what people say, create a discussion. And if you do look at the answer and you're the one who's leading the learning, so then whatever people say, give them a little bit of pushback, because the pushback is going to help them refine their opinion, and you can create a real discussion. And then after you whet people's appetite by just asking the questions and not necessarily knowing the answers, then you can jump into the notes and into the Ma'ar Makomos. Now, we added something this Shavuos that is going to be super exciting and super fun, and that is the comics. So we sent 6 different comics, and each comic depicts a different scenario that's in some of the question and answers that's also in the packet that we sent. So this, for example, are 2 boxes that depict a scenario, and the last box is the answer to the question, right? Is the answer to what you should do in such a scenario. And so too over here, right? There's 3 different boxes that depict the scenario, and the last box is the answer to what to do in such a scenario. What you should do before Shavuos, and it doesn't make a difference if you have kids. Kids are going to love this. But even teenagers, even adults, someone saw this, and yes, he's an adult, and he said, he's very much an adult, and he said, I'm definitely printing this out. I'm going to show it to my wife. I'm going to show it to my kids, whoever's going to be around the table. It's going to be amazing. So what do? This is what you have to do. You should cut out each comic, okay, as follows. I already did it beforehand. And you should cut off the answer box, okay? So this is the scenario. Here is the answer box. Keep the answer box in your pocket. Bring it to the Shabbos table and pass the comic around the Yantiv table, the Shabbos table, whatever it is, and have your kids, your friends, your guests, have them read it and then discuss it. What should be the answer? And then the person who gets the answer the closest, so the person who gets it, the right, so he gets the comic with the answer box, and he can keep it. So this is just something that's going to make the learning as exciting and engaging. Also, what you should do is once you gauge the interest, once your kids are excited about the learning, and they see that these scenarios are cool, so tell them after the meal, we're going to sit down and we're going to learn together, and we'll go through the Ma'ar Makomos, we'll go through the notes, we'll go through all the different options and all the different materials that we sent you. That's just part 1. That's just Shavuos. That's just the learning, which is going to be amazing. The next day, Sunday morning, you're going to challenge yourself. And you're over Shavuos, so you're going to try to remember all this information, try to retain it, and make a real kinyan on the Torah. The next day, we're going to have a Kahoot we're going to have 3 different levels for kids that are younger, for middle-aged kids, and then we're going to have for adults. And the goal of the Kahoot is, again, to make the learning fun, to make it engaging. We're going to do it on Zoom, and to really challenge yourself and push yourself to remember and retain the information. And the winners are going to get cash prizes, like you're going to see in the introduction sheet that's together with this packet. So my bracha to all of you is that we should be zoche to be mekabel the Torah b'simcha and be'ahava. Feel free to send this to whoever you want, pass it along. Lahagdil Torah v'ladira. This should be an amazing, incredible Shavuos, and HaKadosh Baruch Hu should send a refuah shalema to all those who need a refuah shalema, and He should send a parnasa shalema to all those who are struggling now. And HaKadosh Baruch Hu yomar l'tzar seinu dai. And just like by Har Sinai, the Medrash says that everyone had a full refuah shalema. Anyone who had a problem was automatically Nirpan, there was automatically a fix. So too HaKadosh Baruch Hu should be sending refuah shalema and bracha and atzlacha to anyone who has any tzara. Have a chag kosher v'sameach, and we'll see you all on Sunday with the Kahoot. It's going to be amazing. It's going to be epic. It's going to be exciting. It's going to be awesome. Kol tov and Gidyantiv from Yerushalayim Mir HaKodesh.